Thank you, Andre. That was some real passion. Wow, we've had a great group of speakers already, haven't we? No kings? No Iran war? No nukes? I want to quickly give you 4 reasons the Iran war should have never started and must be urgently ended. Number 1, it is an unnecessary war that never should have started. Negotiations had been underway, including the day before the war started, and were scheduled to resume soon afterwards. But Trump's team of Witkoff and Kushner were not trained diplomats and had no expertise on nuclear weapon issues. The UK sent an experienced diplomat as well as a nuclear weapon expert to the talks, and they reported, contrary to Witkoff and Kushner, that Iran's offer was a good one that had strong promise of renewed progress. This was an unnecessary war. We were fortunate to have the lead U.S. negotiator of the 2015 Iran nuclear agreement, Wendy Sherman, speak to our organization in 2018. She taught diplomacy at Harvard and was a top leader in the U.S. State Department for years. She also had a team of experts throughout a 2-year negotiation that resulted in an agreement that, until Trump withdrew in 2018, verifiably kept Iran at least a year away from having enough nuclear weapon-grade material for even one bomb. We must demand that our government turn to competent diplomacy and not war. Diplomacy, not war with Iran. Number 2, the Iran war is an illegal war that violates the U.S. Constitution and international law. The Constitution is clear that only Congress can declare war. It is striking that now, as U.S. ground forces soon are going to be deployed, even many Republicans are saying that a war powers resolution must be approved first, but so far those Republicans are not following through. Under international law, the killing of civilians is banned in war. On the first day of the war, the very first day of it, the U.S. bombed a girls' school in Iran with at least 175 civilians killed, mostly children. That's a war crime! That's a war crime! A few days ago, I heard from an Iranian American that I know well. And when he talked to me on the phone, he was weeping. He was weeping because his family members in Tehran, including children, had been killed by American bombs. No war! It is a chaotic war, number 3. A chaotic war without strategy, being run by Trump's whims. There have been no clear or achievable goals at any point in this war. At first it was said that Trump felt in his gut that Iran was about to race for obtaining nuclear weapons. But there was no factual basis for asserting that, and Iran continues to disavow any ambition to get a nuclear weapon. But then Trump turned to regime change. That's what it was really about. And that he thought could be achieved by killing much of Iran's top leadership. But Iran's leadership planned for that and formed a deep bench who could quickly replace the leaders killed in the war. Now that the air war has failed to destroy Iran's leadership, Trump has thousands of ground forces on the way, and if they get deployed, it will guarantee that America will again be in a quagmire of endless war. No war in Iran! And finally, number 4, the war is causing a huge economic downturn and a global recession. We are all aware of the huge increase in the cost of oil and gas due to the effective closing of the Strait of Hormuz, and that is having repercussions across the entire economy, not only of the United States, look at what's happening to our stock markets, but also of the entire world. As a result, large segments of the global population are experiencing major economic stress. Many of us here today are feeling that economic stress, aren't we? In the first 4 weeks of the war, an average of $2 billion per day has been squandered, and Trump is requesting a $200 billion supplemental appropriation from Congress. Congress needs to say, hell no! We need to put the pressure on the Congress to stand up to Trump and his warmongers and refuse to allow that request for $200 billion, to refuse to allow that to succeed. In closing, I want to appeal to you to support our Not One More Dime campaign. Not one more dime for war in Iran. I want to strongly urge and even beg you to go to peacecoalition.org. Again, I'll say that, peacecoalition.org. Click on the top item under Take Action to quickly email your congresspersons. You can do it in less than 2 minutes. It's very easy, but it makes a huge impact. In addition, I urge you to call your congresspersons. As Andre mentioned earlier, the Capitol switchboard is 202-224-3121. What you need to know is that when you make your call, our elected representatives assume that you represent 100 constituents. We have power if we take action. No Iran more! No nukes! Peace now!
And next we have Brad Howard.